This is a very, very important topic for many, many people. So I'm glad that you guys are all here to hear about it. And we have really an expert in Crystal from Crystal Media who's going to tell us all about that today. So we're excited to host it. It's one of the services that Retail Smart Guys is providing now. Many of you who know us know that our signature product is our merchandise planning and open to buy, but we've started to add other services like Crystal's marketing skills, which have been tremendously helpful for our customers. She's one of the best that we've seen in the industry, works very, very closely with retailers. It's not sort of a generalist in marketing. She really understands the retail business, understands what needs to happen there, understands how all that works. And so we're delighted to be partnered with her. So, Crystal, I'm going to unmute you. I'm muting everyone else. Sorry about that, folks, but Crystal, I got to find your. I see you on here, but it looks like you're not on here on your phone line. Did you call on a different line? Send me a little chat message on that, Crystal.
Dan, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to change the presenter to you, okay? And that way you can show your screen and we can get started.
Awesome.
Go, there you are now. All right, so here we go. I'm going to make you the presenter, Crystal. Okay?
Okay, all right.
So you should have the screen now.
I see it. Let me share my slides and make sure you guys can see everything okay. I think we are good.
Good. So just one little bit of housekeeping before we start, and then Crystal, I'll let you go. I have everybody on mute. You can certainly, if you have a question, send me a chat message. We'll save those for the end. That way we can keep this thing well organized. If you're having any difficulties at all, though, certainly send me a chat message, or you can call me. You guys will have the phone number for me from the email we sent, okay? With that, I'm going to mute myself, and Crystal, the stage is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan, and welcome everybody. I'm thrilled you're here for this webinar from Social to Sale, a how-to guide for independent retailers. I am Crystal Vilkaitis, and what we're going to talk about today is I've got a couple of important industry updates as it relates to social media and what it means for a local retailer. And then we're going to dive into the 3 things working best for retailers today to increase engagement using social media and digital marketing tools, build and widen your audience, and make the competition irrelevant. At the end of this webinar, I'll share how Crystal Media can help if you need to take what you learned today further. And I have a special offer, so hang out to the end to learn more. Now, everybody that's on this call is going to be at a little bit of a different place with your social media marketing. You may be a newbie, you might be, managing Facebook and Instagram and your ads and have been doing so for years and you feel really confident. Often the retailers I work with feel a little bit like this girl here drinking from the fire hose when we are trying to learn social, because it changes so fast and it can be really hard to keep up with. And I'm really excited to be partnered with the Retail Smart Guys because I'm here to help you guys stay up to date and easily understand what you need to know so you don't feel like you're drinking from the fire hose. Now, I always like to talk about the Pike syndrome as I start my seminars. So for those of you who have never heard about the pike syndrome, scientists did a study where they took a large pike fish, which you see on my screen on the left-hand side, and they put it in a glass tank and put a glass barrier in the center of the tank and put little fish on the other side, and then they monitored the pike. And as you can imagine, the pike fish kept running into the glass barrier trying to eat the little fish. After a while, he got sad and depressed and gave up and sank to the bottom of the tank. And then the scientists removed the glass barrier to allow the pike to go ahead and eat the fish. And they were so surprised by what they found because the pike fish didn't move. He just stayed at the bottom of the tank, hungry, depressed, and eventually starved. And what happened to the pike fish is he did not change with his new environment. There was an imaginary barrier that was once there but has been released and lifted to allow him to change and go ahead and eat, but instead he starved. And when I heard about the pike syndrome, I thought about my retailers so much because, you guys, evolve or die, right? There might be an imaginary barrier for you that's holding you back. You might be doing things a certain way that you've always done that need to change because the environment has changed. And this is such a fitting example for my industry because, like I said, it changes all the time. And so there's a good chance that there are a lot of imaginary barriers that have been lifted, and you just need to stay up to date. We often are hearing in the retail space too that retail is not dead, but bad retail is dead. So we just constantly are working on making sure that we're staying up to date with our inventory. Obviously, that's where you're working with the retail smart guys from an open to buy perspective. And then your marketing strategies to really drive people in to buy your merchandise. So for those of you who have never heard of me before, I own Crystal Media. I consider my superpower to be turning independent retailers into confident, time-saving marketing pros, whether you are newbie or you've been doing this for years. My team and I are the best at driving foot traffic using social media. I have been in the social media space since 2007, kind of when it all started. And it looked very different than it does today, 12 years later. But it's been quite a ride. I have worked with thousands of retailers, helping them adapt to the ever-changing industry and really see true traffic and sales from social media. I've worked exclusively with retailers since 2010. So all of my examples, the people I work with, it's all geared towards retailers, just like everybody on this call today, making it incredibly relevant for you and your business. Crystal Media is all about team. I am honored to work with the people I do. Our motto is that we are happy to help. There is no stupid question. We are just here to really help support you. So I hope you guys consider us your resource when it comes to social media. Some of our clients have recently reported some successes, like being up from 40% from last year, or my store's never been busier, or people are coming in saying they found me online, or we hear this a lot: you give me peace of mind and help me sleep at night. Because sometimes we are staying up thinking, how am I going to drive people into my store? You know, I feel left behind. I feel irrelevant. I feel like I don't have the time to do it all. So if you relate to any of those, we are going to give you some strategies today to help you sleep better at night and feel more confident in your marketing. So there is an industry report that's released every year as it relates to social media, and it surveys over 20,000 marketers, trying to understand where we're seeing the most results and where marketers are spending money and time and effort and energy marketing their businesses. And this report is through Social Media Examiner, and a lot of retailers and other type of businesses read this report to stay up to date and know what you need to know. And so I want to highlight some of the important updates that were covered in this report, but then I'm going to translate it for what it means for a local retailer. A lot of the training that you see online for social media is more general, like Dan said at the beginning of this seminar. So the things that work for an online business like mine is going to be very different than for your business being a local retailer. And so I want you to feel like you really understand what this information means for you. So the first industry update was that marketers are diversifying away from Facebook. It went from 67% to 61%, moving slowly to other platforms. This is due to the recent Facebook apocalypse. And it's also becoming more costly to advertise. Now, I travel the world teaching social media, and I've had so many retailers in the past year ask me, is Facebook still relevant? My answer is yes. But what we're seeing, like you're seeing on my screen here, is people are moving away to different platforms. And there's a lot of fear because Facebook has been in the media for a lot of privacy issues, Cambridge Analytica, they're changing their algorithms. And so here's what it means for you. Facebook is filtering out the noise which will keep their users. We want them to constantly update their algorithms so people stay on the platform. This is an audience that Facebook is bringing to you to market to. So that's a good thing. It also means that it's harder for marketers to get free reach, especially if you're posting noise. Now, 4 or 5+ years ago, you could be posting multiple times a day, and it could be a funny quote graphic, and then it could be a question, and then it could be several products, and then it could just, you could be sharing somebody's video or a post, and you're just posting all sorts of stuff that there's just not really a strategy, but you were getting traction from it. You were seeing more people liking, commenting, sharing. It was much easier to post a product and have people come in right away and buy it 4 or 5+ years ago for free. So we just got to make sure that we're not posting noise. Yes, ad prices are increasing, but only slightly for local retailers, and ad costs are still more effective than most all forms of advertising. So something unique here at Crystal Media is we also have a done-for-you agency, and we manage Facebook and Instagram ads for retailers. So I know if it's working or not. Our hands are in it. I've got a team who is managing these ads. We know the average ad spends. We know the results we're seeing. It is still incredibly effective. Even though the prices have increased, they've only increased slightly for local businesses. Facebook is still extremely effective. Now's the time to implement a strategy and leverage what's working. I know that it's still effective because through my ad clients, as well as we've got an insider membership of retailers who are sharing their successes from Facebook every single week. The key is that they are implementing a specific strategy and they're leveraging ads to see results. So this is still a strong platform for you if you have a local retail store. The next update was that live video is weak. Adoption is not taking off. 43% are not using live video. A lot of people don't watch live video, repressed organic reach than when live launched. We had a lot more free reach on live streaming video on Facebook when it first launched. It's kind of dwindled down since. Average duration of a live video is less than 10 minutes, but we're seeing that IG Live is a bigger opportunity, which I'll get into Instagram. IG is Instagram. So for those of you who are like, what the heck do you mean by live? You can live stream on Facebook. And that means you're on your mobile device, you enter in a caption for the video, and you hit go live. And now you are live streaming on your Facebook page or in a Facebook group if you've got one. And people can tune in with you in real time. Now, when this first was released a few years ago, it was a really powerful tool. Facebook was putting heavier weight on live streaming posts, meaning you got more free reach when you were live streaming. So if you really wanted to sell a specific product or talk about an event or a sale that you have coming up, live streaming was the best way to do it. What we found in this report is not a lot of people are watching the lives across all marketers. But here's the deal, what this means for you if you have a local physical storefront. Live video for local retailers is working well. Retailers are becoming local celebrities. I've got several examples of this where our insiders are sharing how they've become celebrities. People are recognizing them at the grocery store, at the bank. People are driving a few hours to come into a consignment store or a gift shop because of a video they saw on Facebook asking to take a picture with the store owner because they feel like they know them from these Facebook Live videos. So now we all have the power to stream and connect with people all over the country and world, but when you're really targeted to that local audience and you're consistent, you're going to become a local celebrity. Now the number, I can't guarantee that you're going to become a local celebrity, but this is what we're seeing with our retailers. Number of live views may be low. Like you might only have 10 people who are live with you. Like for example, I think we've got 37 people who are live with us right now on this webinar. But often when you are live streaming, those are quality people. These are quality people who are with me today. You guys signed up, you want to learn about social media, you're tuning in live. That's what matters most, is getting the people who are quality. And then keep in mind that you can advertise the live stream after to extend the reach and results. And I highly recommend that you do this. Using video and ads is like a powerhouse combination for success when it comes to Facebook marketing. So if you are new to live streaming, after you go live, you're given the option to add it to your page. So yes, you definitely want to do that. Make sure it lives on your page so people who weren't live on Facebook at that time can see it when they sign on later. Then you promote this, you're paying to get even further reach. Use lives as an event and market ahead of time to get more people on your live streaming events. So for example, a classic case study that I often share is we had a retailer who did a fashion show. She promoted it ahead of time, several weeks in advance. She had countdown graphics on social media. She talked about it in store, and she did this event when her store was closed. So that way she could really focus on the Facebook Live fashion show and not get distracted with helping customers. She showcased many items, and people were commenting how much they loved items. People came in the next day to buy. And that retailer had over 11,000 views on her live streaming fashion show. She did not sell anything online. Everybody came in the next day to purchase. She had over 800 comments of people engaged with the video. It was a really great event. And one of the reasons it was so successful is because she marketed it ahead of time. Now, the next update is that Instagram is hot. It's the second most important platform. 69% of marketers plan on increasing their IG organic activities, meaning free activities, over the next 12 months. So get in now. But everyone is planning to move there, so only put your effort there if you have a strong strategy. I say this with all of your social media efforts. We want to have a strategy. Now, here's what this means for you. I highly recommend that you consider leveraging Instagram if you're not already. For retailers, this is such a strong platform. So many consumers are going here to buy products. We're shopping directly from Instagram. I know I am. I know consumers are of retailers of ours. I'll show you an example of this in this webinar. So we're buying, we're going there to look for trends, we're going there to be inspired. And so this is such a great platform for retailers. I really recommend that you use stories, and we'll dive deeper on that this morning. But have a strategy, and like any social media success, you must be consistent. We're not going to launch an Instagram account, post 3 times this week, post 3 times next week, and then stop and see traffic coming in every week from it, right? We have to continuously use these tools to build our business. And one idea that I just don't see enough retailers doing is talking about your Instagram account in store. You could have signage on different displays or products telling people to post about them. You could tell them, hey, post this to your Instagram and you might win it. Or, you can share things that are trending, and you can use a hashtag that's branded to you and encourage people to post, or at the very least, encourage people to follow you on Instagram when they're in your store. Now, same thing applies for Facebook. Maybe you haven't launched Instagram yet, but you're really trying to build Facebook. Then make sure you've got signage in your store and get customers who are posting for you and talking about you and following you. The next update is that YouTube is increasing. It's part of the diversification away from Facebook. 75% of marketers want to learn more about YouTube. People will actually spend time watching instead of scrolling through the feed. This is more like intent-based searching, where we are going to YouTube to find an answer or to be entertained. I don't know about you guys, but in my house, we've got the Amazon Fire Stick, and we can watch YouTube and Netflix and Hulu. We actually don't even have basic cable anymore. I get it through Hulu. But all my boyfriend watches outside of football is YouTube videos, and he's learning, and it's for also entertainment. He loves the news bloopers, which are wildly addictive. And so as a business, you can get your content easily on YouTube and have people learning about your products. You could do how-tos, demonstrations, show trending items, or unboxing videos. It's the #1 video channel used by marketers. What this means for you, if you sell online, if you do have an e-commerce storefront, YouTube can be really strong because YouTube is more of a national and global audience versus right within your town, right? But I will say that YouTube does have local ads where you can advertise to people in your area. So you can create content or commercials that are uploaded to YouTube and advertise those to reach your local audience. If you're not going to do those local ads and you don't sell online, then I wouldn't focus on YouTube today. I would put my efforts in Instagram and Facebook. If you don't sell online, those 2 platforms are the best place for you. But if you do sell online, I want you to start considering a YouTube strategy. All right, guys, so that's just my little breakdown to help you kind of understand the news and things that are being said online. Of course, if you have questions, you can chat those in and we'll do the Q&A at the end, like Dan said, for this webinar, and you can always reach out to me afterwards as well. So let's dive into the first thing that we're seeing working today on social media. Change is fast. So the first thing is we're seeing a lot more one-to-one conversations. We're seeing a lot less of people commenting on a business's post on Facebook or Instagram. Instead, they're directly contacting them through a private message to ask their questions. So what that means is if you're not getting a lot of people commenting on your post anymore, that's okay. That's happening to everybody. Less consumers are commenting, and they're also less likely to like or heart a post. But that does not mean that they're not looking at your content. That does not mean that they're not clicking on it or taking a screenshot of it. Or just hovering over it longer. So I want you to know that all of these sites, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, they all have algorithms. And even if somebody just hovers on your post on Instagram or Facebook longer than other posts, the algorithms take that into account. And so if somebody stays on your content longer, they're more likely to see what you post in the future. So that's just a little heads up for you. If you're feeling like engagement is down, that doesn't necessarily mean people aren't seeing it. We still want to show up. But when people have questions, they're turning to one-to-one platforms. Now, some of the platforms and tools they're turning to, they're using DMs, which stands for direct messages on Instagram. They're using Snapchat, which is a little bit more one-to-one. Facebook groups, it is a group, so it's more a collective, a collaborative community, but it's based off of a specific interest that they feel more kind of that community and that connection, and a similar conversation takes place there versus the masses. Facebook Messenger is a strong tool where more and more consumers are talking to brands through Messenger. And when I do in-person seminars, I always ask, like, show of hands, how many of you have had a customer message you on Facebook in the past week? Over half of my room always raises their hand. So you know this. You're seeing more people who are DMing you or messaging you on Facebook. And what that means is we got to make sure that we're showing up there. First of all, we're responding as quick as you can. And there are tools to help this conversation along the way. One thing I want to say too with DMs, with direct message, in knowing that the consumer is wanting more of a one-to-one conversation with you, you might post something and then say, DM me to order it, or DM me to hear how many we have left, or DM me what questions. Like, prompt the person to message you for more information. People are more likely to do something when you tell them what to do. So keep that in mind. And then I save email for last because email is still a highly effective platform, you guys. The strategies around email marketing has changed. The biggest thing I'll tell you that we're seeing work today is segmentation. So having your list, if you've got a list of 10,000 people, we have smaller lists of those 10,000 people that they're in based off of different segments, which might be male versus female, or people who have attended your events, or people who buy a certain line. So we're segmenting our communications, and that way we have smarter and more strategic email sends, which typically produces higher return on sends. So, so email, still a very strong platform. Now, here's an example from one of my insider members, Taylor with TaylorMade Designs. They've got a cute little store in Opelika, and she told me that they are often selling through the DMs, where she'll post a picture of her necklaces, earrings, like even gift items, and people will DM their PayPal email address. And then Taylor will send them an invoice via PayPal. They pay right there. They log into PayPal, they pay, and then they come into the store and pick it up. So that's one easy way. You don't have to launch an e-commerce site. Like, that's an easy way for you to start selling through Instagram. There are several ways you can sell through Instagram. That's one simple way. I also want to point out how Taylor is just having this conversation with one of her clients. It's just a great way to show up and make sure that you're always checking and responding. So on the right-hand side, Lauren says, "Oh, can't wait to get back in there." And Taylor replies back, "We got a hand stamp that is a sign language symbol, so we can make a little charm for you." And so Lauren says, "Oh, that is so awesome. I'll get in there ASAP." And then Taylor says, "It'll be ready Wednesday." So Taylor's just like selling through her comments, right? She knows Lauren, obviously. It's a past customer. She knows that she's interested in the sign language symbol. And so she's just carrying through that conversation and then boom, saying the date that it's going to be there. So make sure that you're furthering the conversation. Taylor could have just liked Lauren's comment of, "Oh, can't wait to get back in there," right? But instead, Taylor said, "Hey, we've also got this, and it's going to be ready Wednesday." So I just want you guys to take those conversations further. It's going to help you sell more. I know this is a little bit of a blurry screenshot, but this is an example I posted on my personal Instagram that I was looking for a new stroller for my 2 puppies. And one of my contacts who helps, like, she works with a local pet store, but in the Toronto area, and she reached out to me and gave me 2 videos that she recorded reviewing 4 different strollers. And I was so blown away by her doing this. Now, she did this more from like a friend level. She's actually a client of mine's wife. And she just sent like random links to stuff. It wasn't even stuff she was selling, but she just wanted to be helpful. But through this, it made me think, okay, if my retailers saw their customer asking questions about products and you did a quick video reviewing a few things or showing them a few of your items or saying like, "Hey, here's what I would do," you're taking that customer service above and beyond. It's instant trust with you. They feel special. You took care of them. So I just want you to think of ways of how you could leverage one-to-one conversations and even maybe sometimes some video answers to help support people through social. The second thing that we're seeing work is a personal approach. Now, this has been consistent for years. I've been doing social media for over 10 years. This has not changed, but I almost feel like it's more important more than ever. It really stifles through like who's killing it with social, who's really seeing success, and who is not. So the first way to be personal through your social media is through stories. So stories started, they've technically started on Snapchat, and then Instagram launched them, and now Facebook has stories as well. So if you're new to what that is, and I just want to say too, I'm talking a lot about Instagram in this training. I have an Instagram training course that you can actually get for free. I'll tell you about it at the end of this webinar. So if you're feeling like, "Oh, I just don't know enough about Instagram," hang in there. I've got a resource for you. And of course, there's a lot of great info online too. So, but for those of you who have never used a story, stories disappear after 24 hours of being published. And so this is a place on the platform, like within the Instagram app, that you can be a little bit more you and real and raw. It doesn't have to be super professional designed images. Typically on the Instagram feed, though, that content is a little bit more magazine quality, a little more lifestyle, a little more designed and branded. But in stories, being you and like talking into the camera and showing pictures of you and people works really well. And I have a feeling that some people are like thinking, why would I do a story if it disappears after 24 hours? Isn't that a waste of time? No, it's not, because Instagram users are watching stories every single day. There are 3 types of Instagram users. 1, who just scrolls and looks at the feeds. 2, who just watches stories. And 3, the person who consumes it all. They do the stories and they do the feed. I am somebody, I just watch stories. I rarely scroll through the feed. My boyfriend only scrolls through the feed. He never watches stories. So we want to show up where consumers are spending their time, right? So if we know that consumers are watching stories every day, why not connect with them every single day in Instagram? Stories are the best way to do that, especially a great way to be personal. So here's an example of a boutique. I'll share their Instagram profile for you in a second if you want to like check out what they're doing. They're doing some really good stuff and selling right through Instagram. So instead of modeling clothes and doing a photo shoot as a story, they said what really happens at a photo shoot, and they're just having fun sharing behind the scenes. Same thing, they're like showing their personality and smashing a cupcake in this girl's face and posting that on their story. Like, it doesn't have to be super professional and all about your products, and it shouldn't be. We're trying to build relationships with our audience. This is the Blushing Brunette Boutique. If you want to just like screenshot this or write down their username, if you're looking to just kind of see some accounts that are doing a good job. In my Instagram course, I've got many more that I share, but I just want to point out a couple things. Like up top, they're using in their bio, they use emojis, which adds color and helps it stand out. These bubbles here, kind of mid-screen, where it says BB Gals and Winners, BTS, which stands for behind the scenes, try-ons. Those are all highlights. I highly recommend that you add highlights and brand them. I show you how to do that in the training course. Also, look at their pictures on the bottom. There's 3 up top, that top row. The far right one with the dress. In the corner, there's a little white shopping bag. That allows for people to click on that item and buy it through the app. So that's another way where you can be selling product through the app. Now, they sell online, so it's connected to their web store. But I just want to give you another example there. If you are e-commerce, I highly recommend that you add shoppable Instagram posts, making it even easier for people to buy your product through the app. Another example of using stories, this retailer was just like super behind the scenes, like take a picture of all the new stuff you got in. She says lots of new fall in, and then she has a poll. There's a lot of fun stickers and things you can add to your stories to make them more engaging. So this is who would like to see us do a try-on session, and you can click on what your answer would be, hell yes or no thanks. And after you click your answer, you'll see how many people voted for that answer too. Great way to get people engaging. And by the way, when people engage, they're more likely to see your content in the future because of the algorithms. Finally, a great way to use stories is if people are tagging you in their stories, like they're in your store, they bought your products, they're at your event, and they tag you. I recommend resharing those to your stories and highlighting and tagging them back. Another way to be personal is through humanized content. Gone are the days of faceless brands. The people who are really leveraging social to drive traffic in and make sales are showing their people. So one way to do this is take pictures or do video with you if you're the store owner or the staff. Okay, we want to show people. We are connected with friends and family on social media, so when we see that type of content come through, we're more likely to pay attention to it. So brands need to make sure that you're doing this. Another way to humanize your content is if you've got your store account on Facebook or Instagram, and when you reply to somebody's comment, add your first name at the end of the reply. Like you see here, Erica's on my team. She's the one who is responsible for managing our social media and responding to people. And so when she does, she adds her name so people know who they're talking to. They start building that relationship, and what's actually ended up happening is when stores do this, People come in and they're like, oh, you're Jill. I've been talking to you on Instagram. Oh my gosh, you were so helpful. I can't believe you took the time to create that video for me, showing me all the different ways I could wear that shirt with the skirt I had. Like, thank you so much for being so helpful. So just add that little touch. That's something that independents have a benefit and advantage of that big boxes can't do. This is from one of my insiders, Kirsten, and she wrote, so this, look at the cute little picture of her doggie with this pillow. So she shared with us, she said, hi all, I just had to share because I was so excited. Crystal is so right when she talks about different posting strategies. I have had this pillow in our store for 3 months and have sold one during that time. Last night, I posted a picture of the pillow with our Josie, and today we have 100 likes on the post. And I've sold 8 pillows with like several yay clapping hands. So this is an example, like this is way more humanized than just posting a picture of it, right? Even just a picture in your store. Don't post those on the white background, product on the white background, stuff that you get from manufacturers, or if you're taking those pictures, those don't work on social media. Make it real, make it humanized, and you'll sell more. And then the third thing that's working today is advertising. I cannot stress this enough, you guys. One of the reasons why advertising is working so well, and what I mean by that is Facebook and Instagram ads. And a common question I get asked is boosting advertising? And it is, because you are paying money to boost a post. But I do recommend running other types of ads than just boosting. There's a lot more you can do, and it will optimize your budget. You'll get more out of your money, and I'd rather you see more results for what you're spending and have a better return. So I teach all of that, or we can do it for you. But advertising is some of the best ways that our retailers are driving traffic in every single week. So here's why it works. First of all, algorithms. All these sites have algorithms determining who sees what when. When you are paying for placement, you're going to get more reach, right? You're kind of forcing yourself into the news feed so more people see your content. So if you are spending the time to create a post, to design an image, to do a video, to live stream, let's have more people see that. And I have to share with you, because we run ads for retailers, we can promote a video for just $10 and see people come into the store from that. So you don't need to do thousands of dollars on your Facebook and Instagram ads. You can get away with a lot. For our typical range for our clients is anywhere from $300 a month to $800 a month. And that's on several different types of ads and audiences, and we do testing. So you can really get a lot out of this. So it's our kind of workaround from the algorithms. The other thing is that they work. They drive in traffic and sales. Like, end of story, they work. But here's the deal. Most retailers are not using ads. And I know this because on every single Facebook page, when you are on the page, to the right-hand side, there's a little area that says page transparency. You can click on that, and Facebook will tell you if the page is running ads or not. If they are running ads, you can actually see what the ads look like. So Facebook did this because of everything that happened with the election. They're being more transparent, especially for political ads, so people can go and see what's being said. But what that means is all business pages, your ads are public. People cannot see who you're advertising to or how much you're spending, but they can actually see the ad. Now, I, over the summer, did social media reviews for hundreds of retailers. It took a lot of time, but it was a lot of fun to see what everybody was doing. And of those people, over 90% were not running ads. And it blew my mind. It was like missed opportunity. People are leaving money on the table. If you are not running ads, or if you are just boosting, you are leaving money on the table. It's the most effective way to drive traffic into your store today. This is one of my insiders, Rusty. In February, he posted this. He joined Insider in January, and so he saw some pretty quick success. He said, I have to report some small successes. We have made 2 sales direct from our most recent ads. That's a certain type of ad I teach. As I said in last week's post, we have seen big increases in our sales overall, but we now have 2 sales on our books that came directly from our most recent ad program on Facebook with 1,000,000 exclamation points. We are very excited about this program. We are just beginning our 6th year in business. We've tried money mailers with absolutely nothing. Last year, Dex Media ran digital ads on Facebook and Instagram with nothing. To have put these things into place and to see results is absolutely blowing our mind. Exciting times for us here. Thanks, Crystal, Jessica, Pauline, for all you do. Those are my team. And that's just a simple example. I hear this all the time of people saying that we worked with other companies and we didn't get anything out of it. You want to make sure that you are targeting the right people with the right content and leveraging these tools. Again, there's so much more you can do than boosting. And because we're pretty close to the holidays, I just wanted to point out that as you're creating ads in Ads Manager, which again, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I need training on ads, don't worry, I'll tell you I have ads training. I'll tell you more about it here shortly. So in Ads Manager, that's the tool I recommend that you run your ads through. They've got their video creation kit and they've got some holiday kits in there where it will holidayify your ads, making it just more timely with different templates and slideshows and things like that. So just a heads up there that Facebook's got some tools to help you this holiday season if you're running ads during the holidays. Okay, I have a bonus tool for you for anybody who's on this call that has a physical storefront, so you are a brick and mortar within the US. Having optimized local listings is a strong digital tool to help people find you online and drive them into your store. Getting noticed online can be one of the biggest struggles for a local retailer. Your digital presence is as foundational as your business's signage. If something was wrong with your sign on your building, you would fix it, right? Typically. However, a lot of people, they have errors and the wrong information or no information on online listing sites, directories, maps, and apps, and they don't do anything about it, which is like crazy to me. So for example, here's some signs. We've got Die Mart, which is supposed to be Brody Mart, or we have LSD, the beginning of something wonderful, which is supposed to be the town of Hillsdale. Or what about Nasty Buffet? You guys want to go eat there later? I rather go to Dynasty Buffet. Or I'm Hurt Emergency and Trauma Center, which is supposed to be Elmhurst Hospital. So these stores, somebody took pictures before they did fix them, but like if that was you, you would fix your signage. Why not fix your digital presence as well? It's as foundational. This is where people are finding businesses. So think about what aspects of your business are most important for prospective customers to know about you, and how are you communicating that today? So for example, you might have awesome inventory, like you're on top of the trends, people love your products, they just love everything you carry, but you're not really communicating that online or in all the ways that you could. Or maybe you've got awesome customer service, your team is amazing, it's almost like family, they go above and beyond. How are you communicating that? You know, there's a chance that you're sharing some of this on social, but are you doing enough online? Something I always think about, there was a hardware store we worked with in Houston, and when it rained, they took one of their sales associate and said, you stand by the front door, and they held an umbrella, and anytime somebody was parking and was getting out of their car, the person ran out and escorted them into the store with the umbrella. So that's something that's special about the store that we want to communicate online across the board, in addition to other things that are most important to your store. So just food for thought. Make sure you guys are communicating that today, everywhere you can. Because here's something that happens all the time. I bet this has happened to a lot of us on this call. You've been in business for 10 years, 20 years, 50, 100 plus. And somebody who's lived in your town their whole life comes in and says, oh, are you new? I didn't even know you were here. Or I've never been in before. And it drives you crazy because you're like, how are you just finding out about us? We've been here forever. Or A customer looks up a store and finds the wrong hours or wrong product information, creating a bad experience with the store. Unfortunately, I've heard so many horror stories, and this has happened to actually me as a consumer and my team, where you show up thinking the store is going to be open because that's what it says online, and they're actually closed. That is so frustrating, but here's what happens. Sometimes that store didn't even know that the wrong hours were listed online. They just didn't even know that information was wrong, and they didn't know that they had the power to update that. So nowadays, more customer interaction points than ever before with new consumer services, right? Back in the 1400s, we had print. It was simpler then. Then in the 90s, we've had our website and email and e-commerce, and we're moving into search and then the mobile web and then GPS technology marketing to us based off of our location. And then we have social media launching. Then we get more involved with mobile, with maps and applications, and then so on and so forth with social media and all sorts of different technology. And then we move into voice, and now we're moving into AR and VR. So it's important that you are following this evolution and making sure that your local store is showing up on these sites. So, internal question, how does your store show up? Your website, I bet most of us do have a website. What about direct channels? Through email, maybe through direct mailers if that's working for you. Maybe you have your own app. Search, apps, and directories. We want to make sure we're showing up there. Chat and voice. More and more people are turning to Amazon Alexa, Google Voice, their voice in their car to find products to buy and things near them. Customers are searching for your products daily on apps, digital assistants, Google, Amazon Alexa, Apple Maps, Facebook, Bing, and more, but they're not buying from you if they can't find you. Don't be the best kept secret. We want people to find you anywhere that they're searching. So if you feel like you're losing customers, that you can't compete with Amazon, or frustrated because you don't have a big bucks budget to spend thousands on ads, Crystal Media can help. We can help you. You can compete with Amazon without a big bucks budget and get listed today. That's one of our products, and I'll tell you more about that in a second. If you also feel like there are endless amounts of information online about how to use social media to market a business, that it's crippling to those who need quick answers and simple guidance, if you feel like you're drinking from the fire hose and need help and support, Crystal Media can help. The best way for a retailer to adapt to the challenges of marketing a store in today's digital world and actually see results from social is by becoming an insider. So we've got two ways that we work best with local retailers. The first is becoming an insider. When you do, and I'm just going to take the next couple of minutes and talk about our two programs, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. So our insider membership offers online training, guidance and support from me and my team, community of other successful retailers giving you marketing clarity. With Get Listed, you subscribe and we optimize and manage your local listings on over 60 platforms. Now, you recognize some of the big ones. There's also small ones we work with. You've probably never heard of some of the smaller ones, which is normal. It is important for your business to show up on all platforms. You never know how the consumer is searching. But of course, we do also manage the big ones too. So, bundling Get Listed and insider membership is the best way we can support your store, and we'd be honored to work with you. There's 4 steps with Get Listed. So first, we'll fix any errors on your listings that you might have. You would be surprised. A lot of retailers have wrong hours, wrong phone number, wrong address, wrong spelling of their store, or they're not listed at all. I've got a scan tool where we can actually scan your business and see how your results are. And Bryce is my sales guy. He's on this call. We'll share that in a little bit. Don't let me forget that. I'll share the link where you guys can go scan and see how you're showing up. Then 2, we'll get to know your business and use your content to create professional listings that stand out against the competition on over 60 platforms. Then 3, each month we'll update your listings with the latest information like new product categories, brands, upcoming events, holiday hours, and more. This is a key point where we're actually updating every month because it resubmits your listings to the search engines, which helps you from a search placement perspective. We do all this for you. And then 4th, you'll get monthly reports on how consumers are interacting with your business listings. Like I said, we do all this for you on 60 plus sites. There is no need for you to learn another platform. I know you don't want to learn another platform. You're trying to figure out Facebook and Instagram and Ads Manager and your POS system and your email marketing software. You do not need to learn another platform. Let us take care of your listings for you. Something we also do is we add enhanced content to your listings, and I'll show an example of this, but first I want to talk about why this is so important. And whether I'm doing this for you guys or you're doing this, it's critical that you have enhanced content. So first, a listing with all fields completed receives 347% more searches, 214% more Yelp views, and 416% more listing views than a listing with 1/4 of the fields completed. Majority of local retailers only have 1/4 of the fields, their name, phone, and address. We fully list out, and I'll show you an example of that. So here's one of our clients. This is their before from Yahoo. They had the wrong category listed. If you look at the top left, they were listed as a jewelry retailer, but they're actually a gift shop. They even have a little bar where people can get craft beer and wine. So right away, that's categorizing them wrong. They also don't have the right phone number or web address, their URL, and they only have 3 photos. We want to make sure we have at least 10 photos that brings the physical storefront to the digital world. Help the shopper shop online. Then on the right-hand side, there's not much info listed. They've got the categories jewelry, retailer, gifts, liquor store, convenience store, and then parking, payment, cards, wheelchair access, year established, and takeout, and that's it. Now, after they got listed, we added the right category for gifts. We added photos, including their logo. You want to make sure you've got your logo in all of your listings because it builds brand equity. Having a consistent brand everywhere gets you to become recognizable by the consumer. Through Get Listed, we can verify your account. It says merchant verified. That builds credibility, and we can add bios, which helps build the relationship and learn about the owner. We added the right phone number, right URL, and look at the bottom right there. We have much more info. So we added bar, pub, and club for their categories. And we added the brands that they sell. If you sell any consumer known lines, these should be in your listings. People are searching for consumer known lines near them. I want your store to show up for those keywords. Then we also added the products and services, also keywords. People are searching for these, whether it's on their mobile device or through voice. So we want to make sure that you add in all of yours. For example, they've got glassware, socks, souvenirs, novelty, party supplies, etc. Whatever you're selling, we want to make sure that's added. Finally, we added their email address. We want to make sure you've got your email listed too. More and more people, remember the one-to-one conversation, more and more people are emailing stores as well. So just have all your contact information listed. Now, one of our Get Listed clients was a sewing store. She had classes, she sold sewing machines and different materials, and she had the brand Baby Lock, and she was working with us, and her listings did not list that she sold Baby Lock at her store. So she posted this in a Facebook group, and I'm just going to read the part that's highlighted in red. She's referencing us, Crystal Media. They've done so much, and I've only been working with them for 2 weeks. In fact, we had a $1,600 sale just this week from a customer that had been looking for a brand product that we sell, but we also have a competitor in the area that sells that brand, which happened to be that Baby Lock sewing machine. She says she didn't want to work with them, so had been Googling for 3 weeks trying to find another dealer in our area. For some reason, my shop never came up angry emoji face. However, this week she Googled one more time and we did show up. She came right in and bought her machine with tears in her eyes. She was so happy to find us. The only thing that had changed in that 3 weeks was Crystal Media has begun working on her internet presence. So I anticipate easily recovering the cost of their service. Check them out. Now, thank goodness, this customer kept Googling, right? That they kept searching for somebody. Typically, they won't. They'll go online and buy something, right? So we want to make sure that everything is listed so people can find you and maybe even come in with tears in their eyes, so happy to find you. Now, moving into our insider membership, what you get is a social media strategy, tools, and support to grow your store. Imagine if you stopped winging it with marketing and had a clear plan for success. You stopped feeling frustrated and overwhelmed with Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, email, marketing, and more. You had the latest social media strategies that work in an hour or less a month, and had a trusted team of advisors to ask your questions and always felt confident by their answers. That's exactly what you get with being an insider. So there's 5 steps to becoming an insider. Step 1, you join our community in our private Facebook group, introduce yourself. For example, people, what I ask is to share your goals. So your store, tag your page so we can like you, check you out, share your goals, and then we help cheer you on and support you and give you any resources to help you with those initial goals. Then 2, you're going to create your plan. Create your custom social media plan using the proven system that thousands of retailers have used called Social to Sale. This is a video course that you can go through it. Anybody on your team can go through it, and it walks you through how to actually set up your strategy. Keyword there. If this is meaningful to you, you could track your progress along the way, take some quizzes and actually get certified at the end, but this is a great resource to train to develop your social strategy. Then step 3, you stay up to date. You're going to attend and participate in the live monthly training webinars, or you can catch the replays. They're webinars just like we're doing today on different topics that are timely. This helps keep you evolving. For example, April was all about how to build your audience, and May was all about what you need to know about email marketing. Once you join, you get access to the library that's already in there waiting for you. Then step 4, you could get support. Ask your social media questions and get help fast from me and my team. On the left, Laura asked about average costs for ads, and I just wanted to point out Jess's answer. Because we're in there with managing ads, we know average costs, what you should be spending, what you can expect to see. We broke it down. That level of support is pretty hard to find anywhere else. And then on the right is just a video tutorial of Google Analytics. We'll often do some one-off short video trainings to help you as well. Step 5 is you're going to celebrate. You're going to pop the bubbly and celebrate your success, and please share your success with me and my team so we can celebrate you too. Michelle says, in 2 months of implementing what I've learned, sales are up 15% and 31% over last year. My average transaction has increased 11%, and our average customer count per day has increased by 8%. I've never sold out of a product so fast after putting it on Facebook. Oh, and I also cut my radio advertising by 1,000. Thank you once again for helping me take my business to an entirely new level. She's an insider. She went through the Social to Sale course, and I'd love to help you guys do the same. Now, a quick important note, if you were to go to my website right now, insider doors are currently closed. We only open once a year in March, but because of the Retail Smart Guys, you can get in if you need the training, support, and community now, but you must join by the 22nd. So here's our recap. Get listed and insider bundle. For get listed, we fix all errors, add correct info, optimize your listings, and add enhanced content. You have full control of digital presence. We update monthly for you, and you get monthly reports and review management. With insider access, you get Social to Sale training course, monthly live training webinars. Just a heads up, I have a holiday marketing kit. It's that time of year, so you get access to all those graphics and copy too. We have a library of training resources and our Facebook group and community for support. You can bundle and save by a week from today. So this is a special offer for the Retail Smart Guys. You can get listed and a year of insider. All this is a year for $1,997 a year, or if you want to break those into 12 payments of $197 a month. Now, I said I have a special Instagram training. So if you need Instagram training, we are giving this course to you for free if you bundle from this webinar by October 22nd. I sell this course on the site for $397, but you can get it for free when you bundle. So here's how to join. We've got our special link, and then we're going to open it up to Q&A. crystalmediaco.com/RSG is where you can sign up for the bundle. Of course, if you have any questions, you can email info@crystalmediaco.com, or you can call us. I'll leave this information up if you need that. And at this time, we covered a lot in this webinar, a lot of the industry changes and what's working today. I want to open it up for you, and I know, Dan, you might have some questions too. So at this time, you guys, if you want to chat in your questions, or Dan, you tell me what's the best way for people to ask questions.
I think we have people chat in, which will be the best way to do that if you have questions. But I have a couple comments I thought I'd make also, which is that, part of the reason we partner with Crystal is because, our whole business as Retail Smart Guys is focused on retail. And because, she's not just a general marketer. She's just not like your nephew who knows a lot about the internet, she's actually a specific marketer that works with retail stores. That's why our partnership works so well. But before anything else happens, I was remiss in not mentioning my friends at Complete Data Systems and Michael Armstrong. They are one of the premier point of sale providers in the country, and they are one of the great retail pro providers out there. And so if you're thinking about point of sale, you definitely want to contact those guys. They did a great job in helping bring some folks here, and we appreciate that. So thank you, Michael, and thank you, Jason, and thanks everybody over there. The other comment I wanted to make really quick is that the focus of Retail Smart Guys is really to measure your inventory and to make sure you have the right goods at the right time. The focus of Crystal Media is to make sure that you've told people about it, and you have to do both to really be effective today in this marketplace, right? So you can, I've seen it. I told Crystal the story yesterday. We were one time hired by a shopping mall because they had an enormous event. They had all of John Lennon's original artwork at the mall, and it was a huge event. 1,000 people descended on the mall, and yet the stores didn't see any bump in business, and it's because they didn't have the right inventory. So you have to have the right marketing that gets foot traffic in the door, and you have to have the right inventory so that when they get there, they buy the right stuff. And so that's why our partnership works really well together. So if you're struggling with cash flow, you're struggling with trying to figure out how to grow your business, talk with us. And probably there's some combination of working with us on your planning and working with Crystal on your marketing is the secret sauce to get your store where it needs to be. Okay? All right, so we're wide open for questions. If you guys have them, this is the moment to yell them out.
And Dan, I just want to say too, we were obviously at a conference together a few weeks ago, and we were just so excited because we can send traffic to your store all day long, but if you do not have the right inventory and the right planning, you're set up for failure, right? So you have to work with the Retail Smart Guys, do your open to buy, then we can help you from a marketing standpoint. It definitely works together.
Our most successful customers do both. That's just the truth. The customers that we have that generate the most cash flow and have the most profitability and are in the best balance and do well with those things, those are all the customers that do well with this. So, well, apparently, Crystal, we've answered every question that could possibly come up in the world of retail. So nice job on that one.
Apparently. Or we have a shy group.
Exactly. So listen, thanks everybody for being here. We appreciate it. This webinar has been recorded also, so you can refer to it again. We'll send out a follow-up email where you can get a recording of it. If you have any questions, certainly there's Crystal's info there. And you guys all have emails from me, so you can reach out to me as well. But I thank you all for attending. This has been a great webinar. Crystal, thank you for all the really up-to-the-minute important information about marketing for retail stores.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to help.
Have a great day, everybody.